Something's coming. Something dark.
Padmé Amidala, one of the most pivotal characters in Star Wars, the mother of Luke and Leia, the love of Anakin Skywalker, and the tragic soul at the heart of the prequel trilogy. But now Lucasfilm might be about to ruin her legacy. Yes, Natalie Portman is rumored to return as Padme in Ahsoka Season 2. And while that sounds amazing, I have a massive question. Why? Is it just another Disney attempt to jangle keys and get easy views? Or could this actually serve the story? Because if they mess this up, if they bring Padme back in the wrong way, it could undo one of the greatest character arcs in Star Wars history. So let me break this down. They brought Anakin back and they did him great. That's the one character they haven't ruined just yet. They didn't do Kenobi good, but Anakin, it's like they take care of him at a different level. Natalie Portman's return, though, was leaked by Christian Harloff, who claims Lucasfilm has already reached out to her and she's interested. This comes after rumors that Ahsoka Season 2 will feature a Clone Wars era flashback, similar to the first season, with Hayden Christensen as Anakin and Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, meaning they're finally going to reunite, but in live action this time, and we're all going to see them in Clone Wars armor together, finally. So naturally, they want to include Padme, but how do they do that when she's dead? And the most obvious explanation, again, is the world between worlds. So, if you watched Ahsoka Season 1, you know they introduced this weird mystical force realm that exists outside time and space. But actually, they didn't introduce it then. It was introduced a long time ago in Star Wars Rebels. It's basically Star Wars version of time travel. And if you watched the Marvel show What If, it's like when the Watcher is looking at all the universes, kind of similar to that. And it's, no matter what Dave Filoni says, Ezra used it to save Ahsoka from Vader, which already felt a bit like a cheat code, but now imagine they bring Padme into it. Imagine Ahsoka walking through the endless doorways and suddenly she sees Padme and Ahsoka, this isn't real, is it? Padme, everything is real. Yeah, it sounds poetic, but let's be real, this is kind of the thing that could completely break Star Wars. Bringing back Padme in some alternate timeline, force vision, or like even time-bending nonsense, it cheapens the entire prequel trilogy, and Padme's tragedy is crucial to the story. She dies believing Anakin can still be saved while the Republic collapses around her. She's not a Jedi, she's not some force spirit, she's just a woman who lost everything for love. And that's just what makes her one of the best written characters in Star Wars. So if they suddenly bring her back for some out-of-nowhere emotional fan service, that cheapens everything. Now, I'm not saying Padme can't return. In fact, if it's done right, this could be one of the best moments in Ahsoka Season 2. But the way they do it, memory flashback, that has to be the way they go about this. Because Anakin being in the world between worlds and being some random force ghost or entity or whatever he is, that's subjective and it makes sense because he's the chosen one. It just works. But imagine Ahsoka struggling with guilt over Anakin's fall. Maybe she's meditating, maybe she's injured, maybe she's just reliving the past in Force vision. And we see a young Ahsoka and Padme in the Clone Wars era. Finally, we see live action scenes with her and Padme and their friendship. We see Padme's encouraging thoughts and words towards Ahsoka when she's doubting herself, warning her that war could change people, and maybe she even mentions Anakin unknowingly foreshadowing his fall. Padme. Anakin carries so much. Sometimes I feel he'll break under it. Ahsoka could say something like this. He's the strongest person I know. He won't break. But the audience knows. We know what happens. That's powerful storytelling. That makes Padme's return meaningful. If she's just some random vision in the world between worlds, then she's nothing but a cameo, and that's the difference. So, this rumor is exciting, but it also shows how fragile Star Wars has become, and they've already brought back Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, and they're using Luke Skywalker and Mando and Boba Fett. Now Padme's next. Like, it feels like Disney's just leaning too hard on nostalgia instead of telling new, compelling storylines and then just sprinkling a bit of nostalgia in it. That's what should be done. But we've seen them ruin legacy characters before, like Boba Fett, Luke, and I already said it, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. If they do this wrong, Padme could be next. And I do like the world between worlds, man. Like, I really do. It's just got to be done right. I think it's the perfect way to go into there and retcon the sequels. Perfect out. But we got to destroy it at some point or something. I don't like how it's so easy for in-world characters that aren't spiritual, like a Force Ghost or something, to just get into it. And, like, no cheap time travel gimmicks, bro. Like, just give us emotional, well-written Clone Wars flashbacks. That would be so dope. The first season was great, but, like, some of the fight scenes, man. Like, other than Anakin and Ahsoka fighting, that was amazing. But I'm talking about, like, in the final episode when Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine, like, stormed the ship and tried to take down... like, that was terrible, man. I couldn't even handle it. Like, the stormtroopers were, like, diving and... oh, man, don't even get me started. There's such good parts in there, like, with Anakin and everything, but I just feel like instead of making 8 episodes and stretching out some crappy storyline and filling... like, just make a movie. If we made movies, bro, I understand they're trying to fill these subscriptions with Disney Plus, but if we just made movies, these could be so good. Like, let's throw out all the other movies. Let's keep Mando, a Book of Boba Fett movie, and just keep the good parts and rewrite the rest of it. Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, and actually put some budget into camera work, storytelling. That's about it. And Ahsoka. 4 movies right there. We don't need Andor. Like, I'm going to be honest, nobody really cares about that. But Ahsoka is good and it has so much potential. So, like, just please do it right. I trust Dave Filoni, but also not really because he's broken that trust a little bit before. So, we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think below.
It's been a while. Things have changed.